My ex cheated on me while I was pregnant, so I raised our daughter alone. Now, he's putting his stepdaughter first, refusing to come to her birthday trip unless she's invited. I told him not to bother. Posted by you/throwaway_icicle. Long-time lurker here. I never thought I would need to make a Reddit post about this, but my family is divided, and I need to know whether I am being unreasonable. I am using a throwaway account for privacy reasons. For the last few months, I, 32F, have been planning my daughter's, Rose, fake name, 13th birthday. For her birthday, I have been organizing a week-long trip to Greece. Rose has been obsessed with Greece for the longest time and has been begging to go there forever. I have finally saved up enough to give her a special birthday. The problem, however, is with my ex, Alex. Ever since I started planning the trip, he has been pushing for me to invite his stepdaughter, Mary. For some context, Alex and I broke up a few years after Rose was born because he cheated during my pregnancy. We lost touch for a year or two before he came back, asking to be in Rose's life. I agreed to co-parent with him, and things were going well, all things considered. That is, until he got married to his new wife, Sarah, who already had Mary from a previous relationship. Sarah and I get along really well, and so do Mary and Rose. The issue is not with his new family but with Alex. Ever since he married Sarah, all his attention has gone to Mary. At first, I understood, he needed her to feel comfortable with him being her new dad. But it has reached the point where he barely puts any effort into Rose. He has missed several of her important competitions and events, as well as her birthday, just because he had to take Mary to the dentist, or pick her up from school, or because he wanted to take her to the movies. These are actual excuses he has used when I confronted him about his absence in his daughter's life. I should clarify that I have no issues with Mary. I love the kid. My issue is with Alex acting like Mary is his only daughter. I have talked to him about this several times, and he always uses the excuse that Mary needs a dad too, before telling me to stop acting selfish and to appreciate that he is in Rose's life at all. While planning the birthday trip, I deliberately did not invite Mary and Sarah so Alex could spend time with Rose. I asked them beforehand if they were okay with this. Mary does not like traveling anyway, so they both agreed not to come. Alex, on the other hand, has refused to accept this and keeps pushing for me to invite Mary. He says it will be good for the girls to hang out. I have refused to budge, and it all came to a head last week when I asked Alex to confirm the dates. He said he would not come unless I invited Mary. I obviously said no, but he still did not back down. I finally had enough and told him that if he would not come unless Mary came, then he should not bother coming at all. He tried to argue, but I have not spoken to him since then. He has been blowing up my phone, but I honestly do not have the energy to deal with him. Some of my friends have been calling me, asking why I uninvited him, and saying I was acting like a jerk. My mom agrees he was being unreasonable but also said I was being cruel by kicking him off the trip entirely. My sister, however, agrees that he should not come at all. I was very sure of my decision before, but now I am starting to think I overreacted. I do not want Rose to think he does not care enough to come at all. But if I agree to his demand, he will spend the entire trip with Mary. I know he will, because he has done it before, and I do not think that is much better for Rose. Everyone is divided, and I need to be sure whether or not I am overreacting. Am I being the jerk here? Edit. I was not expecting so many comments. I did not expect this to get as much traction as it did, and I am having some trouble answering them all. I will not be online for long, so I hope this answers your questions. Is my ex Mary's dad? No, that would not be possible. I have met her father, and she looks a lot like him too. Does my ex have bad intentions with Mary? I do not think so. I could be wrong, but I think he sees her as the daughter he has always wanted. They also share many interests. Are Mary and Sarah okay with all this? No. They have been trying to convince him to let it go, but my ex is very stubborn. I also asked them not to get involved so the drama would die down on its own. Is this what Rose wants? She really wanted her father to come. She loves the man a lot, but I will ask her, since it is her trip and her choice. Would Rose want Mary to come? Yes. Rose looks up to Mary, and the two get along. Even without my or Sarah's involvement, they are naturally friends. If you have any other questions, I will try to find time to answer them. For now, thank you all for the support and for the valuable advice and insights. I feel much less stressed about this. I will have a chat with Rose and update you all when I can. Commenter 1, are you paying for him, and is he expecting you to pay for Mary too? Not that it matters, but I just wonder if he will try to show up with her. To be honest, he sounds like a real jerk who would do something like that. If you now do not have to pay for him, why not invite your mom? Having 2 generations of strong women who will not put up with an idiot might make for a great vacation for your daughter. OP, I am paying for everyone since it was my idea to go. My mom and sister were coming originally. I might just make it a girls' trip to avoid the drama. Commenter 1. Why is Ops X/Rose's father going on the trip? OP. He had missed a few of her birthdays prior to this. I wanted to make it up to her. He is also her father, and it seemed unnecessary to exclude him. My mom and sister are coming as well, so it was not going to be just us three. Commenter 2. I 100% agree with you. This trip is about his daughter, not his stepdaughter. Ignore everyone else. He has made you and Rose very aware of where she stands. I would send him a message, then block him, to be honest. Please stop getting other people involved. This trip is for your daughter, and the fact that you are yet again putting someone else above her is crazy. You are extremely selfish, and she will remember this for years to come. Now she is 13. I will leave it up to Rose whether she wants any contact with you going forward. OP. I might actually use this because I do not have the energy to articulate myself or even bother arguing with him. Thank you. Commenter 3. Why are you making so much effort for him? I have seen your comments about the things you do to enable your child to have a relationship with him. All kids deserve parents, but not all parents deserve children. He is a deadbeat. If he wanted to, he would. But he does not. He is a terrible father, and you definitely did not overreact. Lose the man in the trash and the friends who agree with him as well. You are not the jerk. OP. I guess I just really wanted my daughter to have a chance to know her father. I'm starting to see now that it may have been a mistake to think he was the father she needed. Commenter 3. Op should let her daughter, Rose, decide what she wants. OP. She wants her father there because he has missed her last few birthdays. I just do not want her to go through her birthday feeling second to Mary, especially since they have a good relationship. I think either way, she would not be too upset, mostly because she is just glad to be going to her favorite place. But I will have a conversation with her and let her decide. Update, 4 weeks later. Hello again, Reddit. I was not planning on updating, but since we are heading to Greece tomorrow, Rose asked me to share an update for those who are interested. Here it is. I hope those curious about how things turned out are able to see this. A lot has happened since my last post, so I will try my best to explain everything clearly. This might be long, so I will start with a summary for anyone who does not want to read the full story. Sarah found out about Alex's cheating during my pregnancy. After Alex hit her, they are getting a divorce. Mary and Sarah will be joining us on the birthday trip. I am filing for a legal custody agreement and child support. Alex's insistence on bringing Mary to Greece was because he wanted to one-up Sarah's ex-husband. After my last post, I called Rose's therapist for advice on how to approach the situation. Following his advice, I sat down with Rose, explained everything, and even showed her the post. I reassured her repeatedly that none of this was her fault and apologized for making decisions without consulting her first. I told her to take her time processing everything and let her know I was ready to listen whenever she was. I'm glad I did this because, a few days later, Rose came to me with her thoughts. Giving her time to reflect really helped her articulate herself and think everything through. She decided not to invite her dad on the trip but was against cutting him off completely. While I initially disagreed, I respected her decision and did not push the matter. We discussed a lot of other things, but I would prefer to keep those private. I also suggested family therapy, which she agreed to, and I have booked sessions for next year. She will continue with individual therapy, and I will as well. I hope this will help us communicate better and help me make better decisions in the future as her mom. By the end of our talk, we shared a much-needed cry, which, I admit, I initiated, hugged, and then watched Mamma Mia. Side note, to the commenter who suggested the movie, thank you. Rose and I loved it so much that we watched the sequel the same day. It was the perfect choice to get us excited for the trip. We are thinking of watching it again at the end of the trip as well. I reached out to Sarah and invited her over to talk about Alex. I showed her the post, including the comments concerned about Alex's relationship with Mary. While I did not personally share those concerns, I wanted Sarah to decide for herself. As she read the post, she got to the part where I mentioned Alex's cheating. She was confused and asked what I meant. I explained how, during my pregnancy, I discovered texts and pictures from other women on Alex's phone. When confronted, he admitted to cheating because he wasn't ready to be a dad. That was why we broke up, and why he disappeared for a while before returning to be part of Rose's life. Sarah was furious. According to her, Alex had told her that I cheated on him, and that was why he was not involved in Rose's early years. He also told her he was not sure if Rose was his. Hearing this, I was livid. I have never been with anyone other than Alex, romantically or otherwise. Between raising Rose and building a career, I never had the time. Alex's lie did not even serve a purpose since Sarah and I had always gotten along. After our conversation, Sarah assured me she was going to talk to Mary and confront Alex. A few days later, she called me while crying, asking if Mary could stay with me for a while. I checked with Rose, and she was fine with it, so I agreed. From what Sarah told me, she confronted Alex about the real reason we broke up. During their argument, Alex became furious, possibly drunk, it is unclear, and hit her. Sarah had a visible bruise on her face when I arrived. I was, and still am, shocked by this. Alex had never been violent during our relationship and never even showed any signs of being violent. I'm still having trouble believing it is true, which I feel really bad about, considering how he left Sarah. A huge portion of her face is swollen and bruised badly. He did not just hit her, he punched her so hard that she thought he knocked her out. Sarah does not have family nearby, and Mary's father is away due to his job as a pilot. So, Mary has been staying with us while Sarah handles the situation. After hearing about what happened, Rose invited both Mary and Sarah on the trip, which was incredibly kind of her. My sister canceled anyway since she could not secure a sitter and did not want to travel with the baby until she is older. So, it will be me, Rose, Sarah, Mary, and my mom. It is the same number of people as originally planned, so I did not have to make new accommodations for them. As far as I know, Sarah has not filed a report yet, so Alex has not been arrested. I found out the reason Alex wanted Mary to join the trip. His mom unintentionally told me everything. About a week ago, she called asking to see Rose before we left for the trip. I was not keen on the idea, but I agreed as long as Alex was not there. During our visit, she rambled on about how Sarah's family made Alex feel unappreciated, how Mary did not call him dad, and how Sarah's ex-husband was always showing him up. Basically, she went on a rant about her poor son, who she believes everyone is against these days. Yes, you heard that right. This idiot was doing all this not because he cared about either of the girls, but because he wanted to be better than Sarah's ex-husband. I am honestly still furious while writing this. He ruined his relationship with our daughter and used Mary to make himself look better than Mary's dad. I do not want to believe this is the case and keep telling myself that I might be misunderstanding, but it is something Alex can, and has, done before. I even talked to Sarah about it, and she agreed this might be the case. Although this is just speculation based on what his mom told me, it seems like the most likely explanation since Mary has denied that he has been inappropriate with her. I have cut off Alex and his mom. I told Rose we can revisit seeing him only after I have a legal custody agreement and child support in place. Both processes can take a long time, which I am honestly grateful for. I'm hoping this time will give Rose a chance to think more about her relationship with her dad. Sarah has filed for divorce, and I am helping her with it. She and Mary have been through so much. Thinking about how this whole thing started, it feels so ridiculous. It has been a mess, but that is the update. Thank you to everyone who supported and advised me. Your insights were greatly appreciated. We are looking forward to our trip, and I will be focusing on giving Rose the special birthday she deserves. Top comments. Commenter 1. I never liked Alex since the first post, and now I cannot stand him even more. He is a horrible person, and I hope he loses everything. I am glad you and everyone else are doing well, all things considered. Have a wonderful trip. Commenter 2. I am glad you are there for Sarah and Mary. You are a good person. Commenter 3. Definitely not the jerk. It is your daughter's birthday trip, not a family vacation. Plus, it is important for your daughter to have special one-on-one time with her father without any distractions from step-siblings. Good on you for standing your ground.